Hello, everyone. Oh, this video that I'm making today, it's very hard to talk about. It's really choking me up a lot, but the whole Charlie Kirk assassination, I don't know what to say. I'm very sad about it, very angry. I don't know what to say. I know that, as a Christian, I know we have to forgive people. But man, I will say it's definitely not always easy. And with that being said, I do believe in swift justice. I believe whoever, when they find out who did do this, if they haven't already found out this morning or determined, they need to be brought to the swiftest of justice. And it's not just because it was Charlie Kirk. I believe it should be the same justice, for any murderer. I'm a big believer in capital punishment. I believe if you murder someone and you're found guilty, I believe it should automatically be death penalty. And I know a lot of people are softer nowadays than what we used to be as a community. I mean, back in the 40s and 50s and 60s, basically no one disagreed with capital punishment. And now you have all these far left liberal idiots, and yeah, we'll call them idiots, who believe that, you shouldn't get the death penalty for killing another. Well, I believe you should. And even for people that say, oh, well, that's not Christian-like or whatever, go read the Bible. People, you talk about capital punishment. There was real capital punishment back in those days. You would get capital punishment for not killing, for doing other things, stealing even. And I'm not saying I agree with that necessarily, but in cases where someone, is premeditated like this, yeah, I believe it should be all out. And I don't believe in this just lethal injection crap. I believe, let's go back to the electric chair. Let's go to, things where people are going to be scared. No one's scared to get lethal injection. These people that are murderers, most of them aren't scared to die. Most of them are, they don't care. They're not playing with a full deck, a lot of them. And they don't care whether they live or die. But you know what? When they know they're going to get some pain involved in that's when they care. And that's what we need. But anyhow, I'm baffled. I've always thought to myself and talked to other people about it. I'm like, it's amazing that things like this don't happen more often. There's a lot of people that hate Charlie, even though they hated him, even though the man didn't express hate. All he did was debate, and he said that, he respected others' opinions. And, that's how I try to be, is I try to give everyone an opinion, and whether I like it or not. Now, that's starting to go away, every day. Now people have more than just an opinion, for these people. And when I say respect your opinion, if you come at me and you say, I disagree with Charlie Kirk, I disagree with what he talked about, what he preached about, whatever, or I disagree with Christianity, or I disagree, that's your opinion. I will respect it. I will give you the right. You have the right to say your opinion. But when you come out and you're saying, I'm glad someone died or something like that, that's not an opinion anymore. That's a statement, and I definitely will not respect that. Anyone who celebrated this man getting shot, especially with his family, leaving behind young children, and this wasn't some criminal, no one that's a non-murderer, no non-murderer or rapist deserved to die. But this was no criminal. This wasn't George Floyd, a pill-popping junkie that's raped all of his life and beat women that were pregnant. This wasn't some, thug like that, getting killed, committing crimes. This was a man that all he was doing was giving a speech. And he was trying to unite people in this country to where we could go back to like the old days before these liberal idiots took over, and we could go back and have discussions. I remember even when I was younger, I mean, we're not talking 50 years ago. I remember where you still could have discussions. I remember family that were one side, where I had, some left on the family and the rights, and they would just discuss it. And you know what? They would discuss it with friends that didn't agree, and you discussed it. Maybe you got a little heated, but it wasn't no fight. It wasn't where you had to worry about getting stabbed or shot or, it's just, it boggles my mind. First of all, let's talk about one of his biggest things that he discussed, and that's these transsexuals. First of all, I don't even know how to even word it. These people have a severe identity crisis. They have the most maximum identity crisis that you could have. To think that you are something that you're not born into being, and if somebody hears this that's a transsexual, or maybe has family that's transsexuals, I'm not gonna sugarcoat. That's one thing about me, is I am real. I speak the truth, what I believe is the truth, and what I know is the truth. And everything I say is not just opinion, but I'm not gonna sugarcoat. And people, they could ask me the same questions. Like, what if you had a child that came home and they were gay, or they were transsexual, said they were gonna be trans? I'm not lying. I would always love my child, my children, no matter what. But I'm not gonna agree. I'm not gonna take up for them. And I will tell them that they're wrong. Just as if your child came up and said, they're, they did something else. Let's say they robbed a bank. Let's say your kid murdered someone. I would tell them how wrong they are. And it's the same thing for the transsexuals, the gays. It's wrong. I'm not gonna hate my kid. It's just like anybody else. I'm not going to hate someone because of their life choices. And, I don't hate people that are gay. I don't hate people that are transsexuals. And Charlie did not either. He debated with these college kids. And the reason is, these colleges, and this is scary. This is scary. But these college kids are our future. And we need people like Charlie, because he he changed a lot of views by himself. You know, college kids and the young adults, they've gotten a lot, I will say smarter, but you know, they've gotten a lot more common sense because of people like him. These kids to be raised by families brainwashing them. You know, I've seen it in person. Families brainwashing children to believe in, you know, oh, it's okay to run around and act like you're a boy when you're a girl and a girl when you're a boy and da. That's brainwashing. That's grooming. And a lot of these college kids, that's how they were raised. So they never had somebody like Charlie to come talk to them. They weren't raised in church. They haven't had somebody with common sense go make a suggestion to them. And that's what Charlie did. And in the last several years, I would say the last 6-7 years, college kids have changed a lot. I'm more proud of our younger people now than I definitely was 6 or 7 years ago, or, you know, right in the, you know, when we were still under Obama. Definitely. You know, and during his, I mean, that's when all this kind of started, was when Obama was president. And, you know, these college kids are a lot better because of Charlie. And we need another Charlie. We need people that are able to go to these schools, are able to preach to these kids. These kids need God. You know, they don't need all this crap on TV, all this cuddling and coddling and saying it's okay, you know, because you're a girl, it's okay that you want to be a boy. Let's change you. We don't need all this crap. And that's what Charlie preached. But he didn't say it like that. You know, he didn't sugarcoat, but he was a lot nicer than somebody like I am. I'm not as nice as Charlie. I don't have the heart that he had. And I admit it. I'm much more of a swift justice person than what he was. But we need another Charlie. And it's going to take people that are brave, because, like I said earlier, I'm amazed this type of thing hasn't happened more and doesn't happen more. And I hope to God it doesn't. But, you know, it's a shame whenever a non-official, non-president has to have maximum security just to hope that they don't get assassinated. I mean, I know that, you know, I'm nobody. I'm not anybody that, you know, I'm never going to be a Charlie or have a voice like somebody like that. I'm never going to have a platform like, you know, anywhere close to somebody like that. But I'm still anonymous. I still will never put myself out there because of my family. And that's not because I'm not brave. That's just not me. For people on YouTube and places like that they put their identity out there and then they speak politics and stuff, I don't advise it. Once all it takes is some crazy idiot like the one yesterday, and that's it. You're leaving your family behind. You know, the left want us, these far left liberals, I'll say, they want us gone. They want us to be a dying breed. They want everybody to be like them. They want everybody to be demonized, to run around like demons, to think that, you know, we need to go against God and things of that nature. That's what the left wants. And it's like I've told people before, you cannot be a Democrat today. You cannot call yourself a true Democrat and a Christian, because everything that the Democrats stand for today goes against the Bible. Abortion goes against the Bible. Murder goes against the Bible. Homosexuality goes against the Bible. This transsexual, insane, I don't even know what else words to describe it that I can say right this second. It goes against the Bible. Everything that goes against the Bible are the same things that the left and the Democrats go for today. So if somebody is a Democrat and calls herself a Christian, you're either not a Christian or you're not really a Democrat. Now, I understand there's some older people that have never changed. They've always stuck with the Democrat. But here's the thing. In the 50s, 60s, 70s, a Democrat was way different than what a Democrat is now. The party was way different. You know, it wasn't where it's at now. I remember people saying they were Democrat and they had the same views as all Republicans pretty much. I mean, it used to be pretty close. There was just a few differences. But now, the things that Democrats go for, it's not biblical. And even if you're not a Christian and you're not a believer, you're just saying, hey, I'm just going to want to be a good person. How can you be a Democrat and say you're a good person? I mean, is standing up for murderers, is that a good person? Does killing babies, does that make you a good person? I mean, explain to me. I really am fascinated how anybody can say they're a good person or a Christian and call themselves a Democrat. What do Democrats do? Most of the Democrats don't even believe in God or Jesus, or, most of them most of them have nothing to do with the Bible. I mean, your average Democrat nowadays believes in abortion. They support murderers. They support idiots and junkies and all these people. They make morals over criminals. How could you say you're a good person and support George Floyd when the guy had a rap sheet a mile long and included beating women that were pregnant, raping? How can you be a good person and stand by that? And I don't want to hear people say, well, Jesus would. You know what? If you're not a Christian and you don't have Christian beliefs, I don't want to hear you talk about Jesus unless you're asking a question, like a real question. Because you know what? Jesus did stand by criminals, but he didn't support it. Jesus didn't say it, didn't agree with that. And Jesus believes in justice. God believes in justice. If you think that God doesn't believe in justice, explain to me. Hell, go talk to some of the people that's died and went to hell and were brought back. Hell is real, folks. Hell is real. And God sends people there every second. So yes, God and Jesus, they believe in justice. They don't support criminals, stand by criminals. Anyhow, just prayers by the billions for his family. I know he's in a better place now. And I know that, it's a hard when, you're a Christian and you believe, and people going to heaven and stuff, they're in such a better place, but it's still hard. And it's going to be hard for his family. And his family needs all the prayers right now that we can imagine. Because, imagine being a little child and having to see or be there when your father got killed. And it's senseless. It's senseless. And we need to pray and pray hard multiple times a day for his family, that somehow they get peace out of this. I know it's going to take a while, but I want them to get peace. I don't want this to discourage the other speakers. If anything, I want this to make more speakers come out and more press to come out. And, if we could get a good thing out of this, I hope that a lot of these Democrats eventually see the truth. Because I want everybody to see the truth. I want everybody to, these Democrats and liberals. I mean, there's trannies out there. There's gays out there. And it's, all it takes is a change, They could change. There's been people led to God, led to Christ, being transsexual, and they changed their lives. There's been so many Democrats change over the last 4 years, 5 years, switch over to Republican. I hope this wakes up these people. I hope they truly become woke, the real woke. And maybe from now on, woke will mean, hey, they woke up, now they're Republicans. And at least if you're not switching to Republican and you're staying a Democrat, maybe change the view of the party. Maybe go back to where, you have some disagreements, but don't support murder. Don't support murdering babies. Don't support assassinating people for speaking the truth. I mean, if we all spoke the truth, you know how much better this world would be? You know how much better it would be if we were just honest and didn't live in a fairyland and didn't go around thinking that, I'm not God, if you're a man, God made you a man. If you're a woman, God made you a woman. Are we so low on ourselves as a society nowadays that we have to make believe and we have to run around thinking we're something else? When I was a kid, I thought I wanted to be a professional football player, basketball player, baseball player. I thought, hey, I'm going to, I identified as I'm going to be a professional, but guess what? That was just a dream, not reality. When I was a child, I wanted to be Superman. I wanted to be Batman. But when you get a little older, you realize that's not reality. These people don't ever change. It's a disease. It's a truly a disease. And here's my thing too. I personally, you have the right to be what you want to be as long as you're not hurting other people. So as long as you're a tranny and you're minding your business, you're leaving everybody alone, you're not blocking roads, out rioting, out assassinating people. Hey, be what you want to be. If you want to identify as a freaking cat, which there are thousands and thousands of these nowadays, cat people. It blows my mind, but makes me think I'm in Twilight Zone or I'm in a dream that's never gonna, I'm never gonna awaken. But if you want to identify as a cat or a dog or a frog, whatever, you're a man thinking you're a woman and you just, I guess, just have an oversized, woman body part. Hey, take what you want. Go, if wearing a dress makes you feel better, putting on makeup, go do it. If you're gay and you want to be with the same sex, go do it. Just don't bother everybody else. Don't raise hell. Don't go holding up signs. Don't go robbing stuff, looting, burning stuff down, shooting people. Don't go. Why? Why push it? Just be what you want to be and be it, but leave everybody else the hell alone. And also, when people call you out on it, understand that, hey, you took that on when you did what you did. I mean, that's another thing, is everybody is so up in their damn feelings nowadays. So up in their feelings. You know, in the 80s, in the 70s, 80s, even 90s, man, people criticized, and you had to take it. You know, if you want to be a weirdo, if you want to be something that you're not, and you think that people aren't going to say anything, I mean, when you do things, you need to be ready for the consequences. That, you know, people are going to criticize you. If I wanted to go around and say that I'm, you know, a Batman, or I'm something I'm not, if I'm fat and I want to go around and say I'm skinny, or if I'm skinny and want to go around and say I'm a muscle man, I'm going to have to be ready that, hey, there's going to be some people disagree with me, and there's going to be a lot of people say things. It's the same thing. I mean, if you don't want to be normal and you want to be different, then when people say things about it, you're just going to have to take it on the chin. No pun intended. But anyhow, Kirk, Mr. Kirk, his family, prayers for them, and hopefully this can change some things. Hopefully this will wake people up on both sides. I do know America is tired. The good Americans are tired of all this. We're tired of sitting back, dealing with all this. We're tired of all the crap going on. Just like the young lady that was murdered the other day on the bus, which I'm going to do a video about her. That just, it saddens me. I mean, I'm a very tough but very emotional man, and I have a lot of sympathy for people. And to see people suffer like that, see Kirk, get shot, and his family, have to deal with all this, it makes me extremely sad. And it's hard to hold back the tears. And eventually things are going to have to change. These people on the left, these people that are trannies, and people that's all these years they just wanted their rights. Gay people had to fight very hard. And yes, I disagree with the gay people. I'm never going to agree with it. But you know what? That's their right. And they fought for years. I've known people that were gay that were some of the best people you would ever know. Some of the best people you'd ever know. And yes, they were making a mistake. They make mistakes. I mean, let's be honest. They're wrong. They're in the wrong. But that's their right. And for years and years and years, gay people had to fight to get their rights. And we're talking just normal gay people. People that were just gay, not transsexuals. But they fought so hard for their rights. But they weren't out killing people. They were trying to do it the right way. And the thing is it's you give an inch, they take a mile. Over the years, these new generations, instead of fighting for their rights, they want everything. They want to just build. They took it and ran with it, and now it's too far. We're gonna have to dial it back.